The Schrock Farm is a family-owned dairy located in Logan County. Their milk is pasteurized right there on the farm, but it isn't homogenized. When you buy a bottle of J.D. Dairy's milk, you might just find the cream right on the top.
I've been involved in milking my entire life, and I always felt like the food service is something I wanted to be in, and milk is a high perishable item. But rather than milking 100 cow, our goal is to generate more dollars per 100 pounds rather than selling on the open market for less. And so one way was to bottle our own milk. And it looked like a big chore, and it was. It was probably bigger than I thought it should be or could be. But I basically understood the functions of the pasteurization and what the plants do because I've worked in and around plants for 15 years, so I kind of understood what was going on. But now we have to do everything ourselves. We have to maintain our own records, our bacteria checks, medic cell checks. We're all of our own. I mean, we're self-contained right here. I mean, our milk is harvested here, it's bottled here, and it's delivered here. And I'd do it over. If I had a chance to do it over, I'd probably do it again.
Really like living on the farm. For a couple of years I left the farm and was on a crew, operated heavy equipment for about 5 years, and the last year and a half I came back since this whole milk plant has started and helping Daddy out on the farm, and I really like this a whole lot better. I've always wanted to come back to the farm even when I did leave there for a while.
The customer pays $2 deposit at the store. And it's really the old-fashioned way, like Coke pop used to get pop in glass, you know. And some of the stores had the software that they had when they had the returnable Coke bottles. And so they just merely pull out the software, and it was very adapted to the store. And it is an extra chore for the dairy manager in the store to maintain the returns in the front of the store, to get them in the back and get them to us and so on. But it's working. It works. 5 years ago or 8 years ago, something like this probably wouldn't have worked because people are looking for where their product come from. They like to know the source. I have people drive from Louisville, E-Town, which is 120 miles from here, simply to verify the cows are out and that we're using our milk in these bottles and this kind of thing. But the East Coast and the West Coast have been doing this for a number of years, and some in the North. And it's starting to pick up momentum as it concentrates more into the central part of the states, you know. I find that people that have moved from the East or West Coast into Louisville or Nashville and those areas, as soon as they see this kind of milk, they latch right on to it. Customers, when they get started on this glass, it is an extra chore kind of to bring the jug back because they pay a deposit on it. But in large, once they start the taste of it, it's just a habit that they get into, and it maintains a lot better flavor doing it with glass than it does with plastic. We don't homogenize, which breaks the fat and doesn't rise to the top. By not homogenizing, the cream rises to the top, cream is high in fat. People draw that off the top for their coffee, cereal, or on fruit, or make butter, or etc. Some people don't know what to do with it because they've never experienced it before. But it is good. But all you need to do is just shake the jug and it'll reconstitute back into the milk and you won't even notice it's there. That's not something you can buy on the market every day. Some of the customers are real loyals. To this day, we have virtually no complaints. The greatest complaint that I've had yet is they didn't know what to do with the cream. One lady thought it was spoiled, one lady thought it was froze. But as a whole, when they get started, it brings back memories of their past. And it's probably the elderly generation from 40 years of age to 65 years of age that can relate to this some way or another. And it brings back memories of back when either they were with their grandfathers or they were somewhere that they encountered milk with cream on top. It's hard to generate dollars on a farm without a volume of something. So some people talk about producing lots of milk per cow. We don't focus on that as much as we do on the quality of the milk that comes from a cow, because we know that what we put in that jug is what the consumer is going to drink, and when they complain, it's going to be back on us.